In this video, you're about to find out who punished Sabrina Carpenter and why it seriously sucks to be her, despite the platinum hair, catchy bops, and front row seats at literally every fashion show. You'd think being a rising pop star with a face like a Disney angel and a voice that makes angels quit their jobs would be enough. But no, not when the internet exists. Sabrina didn't just ask for fame. She accidentally enrolled in the full-course meal of online backlash, heartbreak memes, and being the villain in someone else's teen love triangle. Whether you know her from Girl Meets World, her viral single, Feather, or just vaguely remember her as the blonde girl from that Olivia Rodrigo drama, strap in. Because this story, it's got heartbreak, drama, high heels, and Twitter courtrooms. Once upon a time, in the magical kingdom of Disney Channel, a young blonde named Sabrina Carpenter emerged with a microphone in one hand and a perfectly rehearsed smirk in the other. She played the sarcastic best friend in Girl Meets World, which is TV code for, "This one will outshine the lead and cause identity crises in tween girls everywhere." And she did. But unlike most Disney stars who either vanish into podcast obscurity or end up in tabloids, for swinging from chandeliers, Sabrina had ambition. Like, dangerous levels of it. She didn't want to be just a former child star. She wanted to sing, act, dance, make TikToks with threateningly good lighting, and somehow be taken seriously while still being 5 feet tall and looking like she drinks glitter for breakfast. The problem? The world already had a blonde pop princess quota, and Sabrina arrived right when the internet decided it could only love one of them at a time. Spoiler, she was not the one. But did she back down? Nope. She leaned in, flipped her hair, and dropped singles so sharp they could slice through a PR scandal. Unfortunately, it turns out being pretty, talented, and romantically linked to the wrong guy is the fastest way to become a human lightning rod. Now let's get to the juicy part. The internet trial, the heartbreak trilogy, and the moment Sabrina Carpenter went from bubbly singer-actress to the blonde she-devil of Gen Z TikTok. The storm began when Sabrina allegedly became the third point in the world's most overanalyzed triangle: Olivia Rodrigo, Joshua Bassett, and Sabrina herself. Now, Joshua and Olivia were co-stars on a Disney reboot musical nobody expected to matter. But then Olivia dropped Driver's License, a heartbreak anthem so powerful it made grown men cry into their oat milk lattes. The song basically hinted that Joshua dumped her for a blonde girl. Cue the internet zooming in like detectives on a Law & Order episode. Blonde? Must be Sabrina. Sabrina didn't exactly go into hiding. Instead, she responded the only way Gen Z pop stars know how, by releasing a song that was definitely not about Olivia, except it totally was. Skin came out, featuring lyrics like, "You can try to get under my skin while he's on mine." Subtle, right? Twitter lost its collective mind. Team Olivia, Team Sabrina, think pieces, reaction videos. It was a high school breakup turned global event. Sabrina wasn't just a singer anymore. She was cast as the villain in a story where nobody asked her if she even auditioned. Now, here's the kicker. Sabrina never confirmed anything, never named names. But when you're the internet's scapegoat, facts are optional. She was branded the other woman, a label that stuck like glitter glue. Every outfit, lyric, or facial expression became evidence in a trial she never signed up for. And it didn't stop there. Suddenly, people questioned her talent, her looks, her worth. Memes circulated. She was too polished, too calculated, too blonde. People complained that her voice was too clean. Imagine being roasted for being on pitch. Even her height became a weird internet joke, as if being petite disqualified her from human emotions. But Sabrina didn't quit. She dropped albums like Emails I Can't Send, basically an audio diary of trauma wrapped in bubblegum pop, and proved she could turn public humiliation into Spotify hits. Still, with every success came backlash. Her Feather music video, featuring men in pink suits being murdered by karma, sparked both praise and "this is misandry" tweets. So while her songs climbed the charts, so did the pressure. Because in the court of social media, you're guilty until you trend for something worse. So now we arrive at the height of the madness when Sabrina Carpenter went from pop star underdog to the internet's favorite punching bag and back again, all while performing in heels more stable than her public image. Because just as the Olivia Joshua Sabrina triangle was cooling down, the universe decided it was time for Sabrina to trend for a completely new reason: success. And if you thought the internet hated a villain, wait until it meets a successful woman under 25 who dares to look good while being talented. The girl dropped Nonsense, a song so cheeky it came with improvised outros at each tour stop. You know, fun things like, woke up this morning, still not cancelled, or he said I taste like strawberry chapstick. And while fans screamed with joy, the usual corner of the web responded with the classic, she's trying too hard, she's not even that funny, or this is just Disney smut. Suddenly, Sabrina was too provocative, too clever, too successful, too everything. Let's not forget the Met Gala moment. She showed up in a dress that screamed Hollywood princess meets futuristic weapon. Fashion blogs praised her. The comments? She's just copying so-and-so. Who invited her? And the ever-charming industry plant. Ah, yes, the internet's favorite conspiracy. That someone with talent must secretly be a government experiment sent to replace real musicians. And what exactly is an industry plant? No one knows. But it sounds scarier than it is, and Sabrina wears it like a badge of honor now. Then came her tour. Sold-out shows, screaming crowds, TikTok moments that could melt the algorithm, and still, headlines fixated on the dumbest things. One day, it was Sabrina Carpenter caught lip-syncing. Spoiler, she wasn't. And another it was, Sabrina Carpenter too short to headline. That's right, apparently 5'0" is a career threat now. The Eiffel Tower called it's jealous of the scrutiny. And then Taylor Swift entered the chat. Sabrina was invited to open on the Eras Tour, arguably the most culturally significant event since humans discovered fire. That should have been a Cinderella moment. Instead, a flood of "she doesn't deserve it" tweets. Fans dissecting every stage outfit, every lyric, every interaction, as if Sabrina had single-handedly corrupted the pop ecosystem. But here's the thing, and this is where our plot thickens like bad mascara. Sabrina never snapped. No tweet storms. No notes app. Apologies. No podcast titled My Truth. She kept dancing, singing, twirling through it all like a glitter-soaked warrior. And that made people even madder. Because nothing frustrates a scandal-hungry world more than someone who refuses to be destroyed by it. By the time she dropped Espresso, it wasn't just a catchy song, it was a thesis statement. "I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer," she sang, as if daring the world to ask her to tone it down one more time. Spoiler alert, she wouldn't. So at the height of the chaos, with the entire digital world watching, Sabrina did something revolutionary. She thrived. While her haters hyperventilated, she kept climbing, kept smiling, and yes, kept wearing heels that could stab you if you looked at her funny. And that's when people realized maybe the real villain wasn't Sabrina. Maybe it was our obsession with needing one in the first place. So what happens when the internet throws its biggest punches and you don't flinch? When your scandals turn into memes and your heartbreaks become hit singles? Well, if you're Sabrina Carpenter, you quietly transform from that Disney girl in a love triangle into pop's most unexpected power player, all while barely blinking. But let's not pretend it got easier. Because surviving the storm is one thing, but living with its echo is a whole other circus. Every time Sabrina posts a photo, there's someone in the comments still yelling about Olivia. Every time she releases a new song, there's a blog accusing her of manufactured fame. She's become a mirror for other people's insecurities: too confident, too funny, too blonde, too successful. Pick a lane, Sabrina. But that's just it. She won't. She's now at the stage where people criticize her just for existing, like she personally invented catchy pop hooks and good hair days. Yet somehow, she remains unbothered. In interviews, she leans into the chaos with a wink. On stage, she delivers lyrics with the confidence of someone who knows she already won. And the irony? The more people try to pull her down, the higher she floats like a helium balloon filled with sarcasm, espresso, and one very solid vocal range. But behind that glitter and gloss is a girl who was just trying to be taken seriously in an industry that expected her to be a sidekick. She didn't ask to be a villain. She just wanted to sing. And somehow, in the mess of public opinion, media frenzy, and fan fiction level drama, she carved out her place not by screaming louder, but by showing up, song after song, unshaken. Because if the world's going to make you the punchline, you might as well write the whole joke yourself. So, what's the moral of this pastel-colored, mascara-streaked, internet-fueled saga? That being Sabrina Carpenter sucks, but in the most strangely glamorous, emotionally exhausting, high-definition kind of way. She's not just a pop star. She's a walking contradiction in rhinestones. Too sweet to be dangerous, too clever to be underestimated, and too sparkly for people to take seriously. The world wants her to pick a side, be the victim or the villain, the Disney princess, or the Billboard baddie. But instead, she chose chaos. Glittery, high-heeled, acrobatic chaos, and it kind of works. Sabrina's life is like a rom-com directed by Quentin Tarantino. One minute she's belting Heartbreak in a silk slip dress, the next she's flipping the bird to misogyny with a choreography that belongs in a fashion magazine. And through it all, she never begs for approval. She lets the charts, the ticket sales, and the screaming fans speak for her. So yes, it sucks to be Sabrina Carpenter because no matter what she does, someone will always roll their eyes. But it also rocks to be Sabrina Carpenter because she's turned surviving the internet into an art form, and honestly, made it look like a sparkly walk in the park. In the end, maybe that's her true revenge. Not the comeback tweets, not the viral TikToks, just unapologetically existing in a world that told her to shrink and choosing instead to glitter. If you made it this far without rage tweeting or DMing Sabrina a heartfelt apology, congratulations, you're emotionally stable, or at least very entertained. So hit that subscribe button like it's a toxic ex's unfollow. Drop a comment with your hottest Sabrina take, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the absurd world of celebrity chaos. Because if fame is a battlefield, we're just here with popcorn and punchlines.